Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be reading an article, a propaganda article from theeconomist.com, where they try to disparage Syria's President Bashar al-Assad. And so this article is called Syria's President Wants Non-Muslim Religions to Help End His Pariah Status. Oh no, he's protecting the religious minorities. We can't allow that. No. So Bashar al-Assad is encouraging a wider range of religions. Oh no, that's horrible. How could we ever allow that in the West? What are we doing, allowing this person who believes in freedom of religion? That's horrible. I'm being sarcastic. In case there's anyone out on the interwebs watching this, I'm being sarcastic. So in woods, playgrounds, and stadiums across Syria, children and adults perform yoga routines, their palms open in supplication, their arms flung back. They chant Surya Namaskar. It sounds like an Arabic blessing for Syria, but means sun salutation in Sanskrit. Instructors in Hindu monk robes preach the teachings of Shiva, an Indian god said to have founded the practice. We are offering relief from the stress of real and economic wars, says a Syrian tutor. 2 decades ago, a Syrian known as Mazen Isa returned to Rishikesh, a city in the Himalayan foothills known for its yoga studies, and opened a yoga practice in Syria. Scores of meditation centers now operate free of charge across the country. A key to their success is that President Bashar al-Assad backs them. Oh no, this evil dictator likes meditation. How horrible of him. That's just shocking and horrible. So we have this propaganda piece because he likes meditation, apparently. I don't even understand how you could take the West seriously, given how ridiculous the propaganda is. All right, so let's look at some more propaganda here. For over a half century, the Assad dynasty has allied its own Alawite sect, an offshoot of Shia Islam, with Syria's myriad religious minorities in order to bolster the regime's dominance over the country's Sunni Muslim majority. Okay, so what they're saying is that they're taking care of religious minorities within the country, and they're phrasing it in such a way that it sounds like an awful thing, like this evil dictator is protecting religious minorities. But lately, he has enabled other denominations to spread their roots. Oh no. As well as encouraging yoga, which is horrific. I can't believe he's doing that. He has let evangelical Christians open churches in houses where converted Muslims can worship. Wait, you mean he's not beheading them for converting to Christianity? Oh, the horror. This is shocking. Okay, this entire video is just going to be me being sarcastic because it's ridiculous that they're spewing out these propaganda pieces. But let's go on. He has even encouraged Jews of Syrian origin to visit Damascus, the capital. Wow, he's allowing Jewish people within his country. Oh no, that's propping him up, this evil dictator. This religious influx, he hopes, will swell the regime's minority base and end his status as a pariah across the world. He's not really a pariah. I mean, aside from Western propaganda, like The Economist, who wrote this article, he's very well liked in a lot of the world now. He was recently welcomed back to the Arab League. He's definitely well liked by Iran. He's well liked by Russia, China. I mean, he's doing pretty well for himself considering all the effort that the West put into overthrowing him. It's his program for normalization, says Ayman Abou-Nour, a Syrian Christian and former friend turned dissident. Okay, so they're asking the people who have rebelled what they think of him protecting religious minorities, and they're against it. Shocking. For many Syrians, the new religions offer communal relief in a country devastated by a civil war. More than 350,000 people are thought to have died. Nearly half the population of 22 million plus in 2012 have been displaced or forced abroad. 90% of those still in Syria are reckoned to live in poverty. That's very sad. Civil society, and this wouldn't have happened, by the way, if it wasn't for the West fomenting rebellions across the entire Arabic world. And that's why the Arabic world is coming together now. They're realizing that the West is trying to overthrow their governments, create division, divide and conquer their countries. And so they're actually uniting. Sunnis and Shias are putting aside their differences. The more secularist governments and the more religious governments are putting aside their differences. Democracies and monarchies are putting aside their differences. They're all realizing that the West is this demonic force that is fomenting problems within their region of the world. Civil society and political gatherings are still muzzled. Okay, this is said without any sort of substantial backing. It's said without any proof at all. They just throw that in there as further propaganda. I mean, you just got done writing an article about how they're allowing people to do yoga and have house churches where former Muslims can practice their newfound Christianity, and you're gonna tell me that civil society and political gatherings are still muzzled? I mean, these NAFO people, these Western propagandists, love to say, show me your sources when it doesn't really matter. Well, this is an instance where showing me your sources actually does matter, because you just spent an article telling me how awful he was for allowing religious minorities to thrive there. So if he's muzzling civil society and political gatherings, please show me the evidence. The Syrian Center for Yoga and Meditation, which this article I'm sure would consider a propaganda arm of Bashar al-Assad, based in the coastal city of Latakia, says yoga centers have more than quadrupled since the war began in 2011. The sports ministry provides them with football pitches for yoga practice. The number of Christians belonging to long-established denominations in Syria has plummeted from around 2.5 million before the war to some 500,000 today, according to a Christian delegation that recently visited Damascus. The new evangelical house churches are said to be opening every month, particularly in the Kurdish-ruled northeast. Well, that's interesting. The Kurds are a primarily Sunni Muslim group. They're typically in contention with Arabic populations and Turkish populations in that region of the world. And so the fact that they're becoming Christian to a large extent, I don't know how surprised I am, maybe a little bit. It also does make sense because the Kurdish population has been very close to the Western world. They're trying to get Western backing to have their own Kurdish state. And so it does make sense because of their close alliance with the West that they would start converting in large numbers to Christianity. It's just that close of contact and the fact that they're subservient to the West. It does make at least some degree of sense. Among Syrian refugees, a similar trend is noticeable. The International Association of Human Values, a UK-based charity, has been holding yoga classes in Zaatari, a camp for Syrians in Jordan. Evangelical churches are mushrooming in Lebanon. Syrian Muslim leaders used to denounce far smaller divergences from Orthodox Islam as apostate. I know apostate, I'll just say that, as apostates. But now think it wise to hold their tongues. Interesting. So they're allowing people to convert to Christianity there. Although the security services still keep a tight control over the state, Mr. Assad blesses this religious pluralism. He sends his officials to celebrate World Yoga Day. A Catholic college opened in Damascus in 2021. Sometimes he and his wife attend church. He showed us the spirit of love for all religions and said he wanted to rebuild the church in the Middle East, says Bishop Daniel, an Australian prelate who recently met Mr. Assad in Damascus. The president has even sent his officials to meet Jews of Syrian origin in America, asking for their help to rebuild synagogues in Aleppo, a city in Syria's north. He sent condolences in 2021 after Avraham Hamra, Syria's former chief rabbi, died in Israel. Jewish ties are a priority for him, says an emissary between Mr. Assad and Syrian Jews. While he is gradually being welcomed back into the Arab world, Mr. Assad hopes his multi-faith policy will help him end his isolation elsewhere. Yoga has helped him strengthen ties with India. He thinks outreach to Jews might improve relations with America and Israel. That kind of hilarious. He when trying to persuade America, he's not opening churches to persuade America. He's making outreach to Jewish people to improve relations with America. So that, I guess, that tells you something about the extent of influence of various groups in America. I didn't say it. This article said it. He thinks outreach to Jews might improve relations with America and Israel. The Australian bishop declared after his visit, "We are praying for the leaders of the world to lift the sanctions on Syria so that they can rebuild the nation again. Many Christian groups abroad oppose economic sanctions against Syria on the grounds that they hurt ordinary Syrians more than the regime, that's interesting that they said this in the article, because the Christians I met in America are fully in support of overthrowing Syria, the Syrian government. And when I tell them, well, Syrian Christians will suffer because of that, they don't really understand, because they just understand American propaganda. And that for all of his destruction, Mr. Assad as a bulwark against Muslim extremism. So really interesting article here. A number of interesting facts. I mean, just looking at the title, they make it sound bad that he's protecting and encouraging religious minorities. Then they get into talking about how he's always been a protector of minorities within his country, which obviously, again, does not make him sound bad, but the title makes it seem like he's this horrific person. And then I found it really interesting how they said that he's making outreach to Jewish groups in order to improve his relationship with America. That got a giggle out of me. I will say that. I won't go into any further details though, but yeah, if you liked this video, please upvote the video. And if you want to see more content from me, please subscribe to our channel. And I also love reading any comments, questions, concerns, critiques you have in the comment section. So please leave us a comment. And thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.